So, hello, Aimi. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So, I would like to thank you to accept our invitation for our interview for our course for ELO program. So, we are going to start right now with some question. It will suppose not to last for a long time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, hopefully not more. But before we start, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself to us.
Yes, as it was told, my name is Aimi, and I'm 55 years old, and I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay, that's great. So, can you please describe your life during the Soviet time? What was your career, for example? Was it easy to success?
I think for me it was easy to success because I studied in university. I became an engineer. After that, I had two sons, and then I went to work. I got quite a good position in dairy industry. So, yes, regarding career, for me, it was pretty okay. I haven't had any such kind of job or hard job. It was good.
Okay. Where did you live?
I was born in Central Estonia in a city called Viljandi. I studied in Tartu. And then I lived 10 years in northeast of Estonia.
But you lived in Tallinn as well.
Yes, in Tallinn I live already 20 years.
That's great. So, can you just shortly express the difference between big cities and small cities?
If you ask if I would like to return to small city, or actually I was living in a village, small village, maybe a couple thousand people or so. In village, the life was more natural because we had our own gardens and people who were producing own milk, eggs, meat. Food was accessible. In the big city, your approach is different because you have to go to earn more money and to go to buy for this money food. So it prevents relationships regarding getting food, for example.
Okay.
And at the same time, in big city, there are much more opportunities for career, for example.
So, but what do you prefer during that time? What was your preference during that time?
During that time?
If we are, let's say we are right now under Soviet Union. So, what would you prefer?
I can speak about myself, right?
Yes.
My preferences have been throughout my life to be in international environment, to have international connections, to work in international company, more wide opportunities. These were my preferences, and that's why I moved to bigger city.
Okay. But do you have any object of this time? Do you have any kind of material things still with you? You keep them during Soviet. There are some objects, some material things, some metal, some whatever, something like that. Some clothes, some musical instrument, for example? Something. Do you still have something from the Soviet time?
No, not really. Maybe something what are more emotional from my grandmother, grandfather.
You still have them?
I have some small objects, yes.
Okay, so mainly they are something emotional.
Yes. They have no any other meaning. They can be used nowadays as well, but I'm not using them.
And that was objects. So, but do you still have friends from time of
from Soviet time? No, not really.
A colleague in university?
Oh yes.
You still have them?
Yes. We still have connections from student time. Absolutely.
And do you think there is a difference between friendship during Soviet time and right now, or not really?
I think values are still same regarding friendship, but during Soviet time, there are different kind of fashions to have useful people, and during Soviet time it was some standard of people who are useful. For example, people who had an access to goods, to maybe imported goods which were not available to regular people. For example, people who were working in shops, they had an access to such goods. So, and as amount of those goods were very limited, then it was very useful for have some connections in retail area. Today is not this so important at all.
Okay. Question regarding your vision of the future. During Soviet time, you had a kind of vision of the future. Of course, during Soviet Union, you didn't know that it would collapse. So, what was your vision? How did you see yourself after 30 years, for example, if you were under Soviet Union?
Again, this is about my personal.
Of course.
As I told before, I'm very interested in have different cultural connections around the world. During Soviet time, it was not possible. I was thinking, if it was a time to choose profession, I was thinking that I would like to use some foreign languages, for example, English. But the only way to use this foreign language was to become a teacher. And I'm not a teacher by nature, so I didn't see any.
Okay.
So I went just to be engineer, just to be near food, something like that.
Okay, let's go to a political question. Do you know anyone who was a member of the party? And of course, I mean the Communist Party, definitely.
I remember one man. He was living in a village, and we often visited this family. And I remember he was interviewing me quite often how well I know politics, how I know Communist Party. Yes, he was often speaking about that. But not much more.
Okay. And what was your favorite music?
Oh, during Soviet time, it was very popular to have foreign music. I remember my generation, it was possible somehow to buy somewhere records, vinyl records. And we had some people who were able to get them. And sometimes we visited them. We were listening, for example, Swedish music, a Swedish group called ABBA. I can't remember which country from was Boney M. Italian music was very popular. In Estonia, Russian music was not popular, so we didn't listen any Russian music. Personally, I didn't like Estonian music, but I enjoyed with the classmates, really, these foreign groups. We were able to listen from vinyl records. I remember there was a program in a radio on Sundays, every Sunday. It started at 2 o'clock, and this was about foreign music. So it lasted for 1 hour, and it was sure I was listening this program every Sunday.
Okay, as long as you spoke about Sundays, so we can ask about holidays. Where did you go during holidays? Sundays, if you have holiday from school and summer, where?
Our family didn't go anywhere. Possibly I was going out with my friends, maybe to walk, or we were living in a city which had lake, so we went to the lake. Sometimes with parents to forest to pick up mushrooms and berries when it was autumn. Sometimes it was possible to go and visit my grandmother and grandfather who were living in countryside in a very small village near the forests. This I enjoyed much.
Okay. Something else?
We were not traveling with family. It was very rare, maybe once a year when we went to travel outside of Estonia, for example, neighbor country Latvia for searching some goods or for shopping, or very rare sometimes to Russia.
Okay, let's go to Soviet advertisement. Do you remember any Soviet advertisement, and what was your impression, if you remember any impression?
We didn't have any advertisement. And when it happened, my uncle lived in capital, which is on north of Estonia. And it was possible to catch on TV Finnish programs, and there were a lot of different advertising. So I was pretty much more than 18 years, and then I saw what it looks like. But during Soviet time, we didn't have, in other cities, we didn't have any possibility even to know what it was about. We didn't have, yes.
And as long as we speak about advertisement, so let's go to products. Can you specify some defeated products which you loved but you didn't have during that time?
Chewing
Gum, okay. I know. And what else?
Colored pencils. In Estonian they call it viltpliiatsid. I'm not sure how they're in English. They're a package of 6 different colors or 12 different colors. Jeans.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to tell you that.
Why?
I didn't want to remind you. I want just to remember it by yourself. Okay.
Yes, jeans or something. If you had jeans, you were popular. So like things which people could see on you, or you are using, like not inner values but like outer values. then people who had access to such kind of products, they were very popular. Everybody wanted to be their friends.
Okay. We have more question actually, but already 15 minutes. I think it would be so much for MOOC interview. Do you like to add anything, or do you have any idea in your mind you would like to add it?
I can ask or I can reply on questions.
Okay.
About this is about like Soviet era, you mean?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I think that was a MOOC, like a kind of short interview. I think we are going to have another interview in better condition and with maybe well organized question. So thank you very much, and maybe see you again.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.